And you probably need new elastics once every, I don't know, few years, maybe more if you play with them a lot. So usually most companies will sell it, elastics. In America, Junkie Spot is good for buying elastics. So make sure you get the right size. Different size dolls require different circumference of elastic, like different thickness. So some tools you will need for restringing include either a string puller or a pair of forceps. String pullers are better. They're designed specifically to pull doll strings. It's just a handle with a really thin, long piece of metal coming out with a little hook on the end that lets you hook into the loop of elastic and just pull it down really easily. Some doll companies sell them. But if you can't get a pair of those, can't find them, or don't feel like ordering them from, some far-off place, you can go buy some forceps. Amazon has them for pretty cheap to pull your string with, and that's what I use. So, if you're going to hot glue suede, I will go into how to do this all later. This is just stuff you need. If you're going to hot glue suede, what you can do is you put some hot glue on the inside of the joints. Will sort of give the resin something to grip onto, and it makes the posing a lot better. It makes the doll less floppy overall. So I recommend doing it. You can also hot glue suede with actual suede, but I don't really do that, so I'm not going to be teaching that. You can look it up on Den of Angels though. But I will be teaching hot glue sueding with hot glue in the future. So what you need there is a low heat hot glue gun. It has to be low heat or else you could damage the resin. And you need low heat hot glue sticks. You can get that for pretty cheap at anywhere, Walmart, whatever. So now face-ups. I'll be teaching how to do it at some point in the future, but this is just a quick overview of things you might need and things you cannot use. Don't use them. So first you're going to need a sealant. Mr. Super Clear is the general sealant of choice. You can get it from some doll companies. If you live in the States, Junkie Spot sells it. But you generally, I want to say there's some restrictions because it's flammable. I think some countries or states won't let you ship it from outside or ship it out from there. So you might have a little trouble with it. But for me, I can just order it from Junkie Spot. So look into it. You should be able to find somewhere that sells it to your area. A lot of people in the States use testers, which you can get at most hobby stores. But there are people who really say testers works great, and then there are people who say it's gummy, it doesn't layer properly, it just turns into a mess. So I don't know. Try it maybe if you're interested. Common materials include acrylic paint, chalk pastels, never oil pastels, thin-tipped paintbrushes, Q-tips, paper towels without designs on them, clear gloss, airbrushes, watercolor pencils, acrylic brush cleaner, artist or click erasers, and also glue and the external eyelashes that you glue on. And there's more. And don't go shopping for all of these things right now. This is just potential heads up. And I don't use all of those things. I use a selection of them. You're also going to want a respirator type device. My boyfriend has one for modeling, doing modeling kits, and it looks kind of sci-fi like. It sort of like cups over the mouth and nose, and then it has these two round things here, and it's like Darth Vader. You're like, and it keeps you from inhaling anything that's bad for you. And there are things that are bad for your lungs in sealants and also in the paint thinners, the things you use to remove the face-up. So, you know, don't endanger your health for your hobby. Use a respirator. Never, ever, ever use anything oil-based on your resin or vinyl. It will not end well. This includes oil pastels, and most human makeups have some oil in them. And also don't use markers on them. Okay? So now, supplies for caring for clothing. Ziploc baggies are good, or any kind of, plastic baggie. It keeps dust off of your clothes, and it just helps you find them easier, rather than just like throwing them all in a pile. Make sure you get a size that lets you avoid folding the outfit, so you don't have a big crease in your doll's outfit. Unless you don't mind the crease, I don't know, or getting rid of it. I've never really washed my doll clothes, but if you're going to do it, you should probably like hand wash them in a little, just get a bowl or something and water and, slosh it around. I wouldn't really recommend putting them in the washing machine. That might hurt it. And then just leave it to dry. And white vinegar for setting colors, as I've talked about in previous videos, so that the surplus of dye doesn't stain your doll. More pressing issue definitely for vinyl than resin. Supplies for caring for wigs. Again, Ziploc bags, keep dust off. Tissue paper or something equivalent to stuff inside where it goes over the head, so that when you store it, they don't collapse in on themselves. Gentle conditioner for cleaning the wig. Heat styling products only if your wig is heat resistant. If you use a hairdryer or a curling iron on a non-heat resistant wig, the fibers will melt and your wig will be ruined. You'll want a comb, not a brush. Some people actually use a toothbrush to comb the wig, because you have to be very gentle with it to keep it nice. And you might want to keep around a used fabric softener sheet, because if you use it in your dryer and then you sort of touch it along the wig, the static produced will suck out fuzzies from the wig, and it's virtually free, so that's a good thing. Okay, so other general things to help you enjoy your doll. A camera. A lot of users enjoy taking pictures of their doll and sharing it with other users on Den of Angels or equivalent forum. Storage, like a bookcase to set your doll on, or a bookcase to put their clothes in a basket and put it on the bookcase. Whatever, I just like bookcases. Just any kind of storage for your dolls and their belongings. Props. Common props include doll-sized furniture and weapons, books, fake food, little cameras for them. There's all kinds of stuff you can find or make, so a lot of people enjoy having that, especially for tinies. In fact, some people get into building doll houses for the tinies to live in, and people get really creative with it. So, something you might want to try. Also, underwear for them, socks, hair accessories, jewelry. Basically, there are a lot of things you can buy your doll, or make your doll. And finally, you might want a big old bag for all this stuff. I guess that would fall under storage. And let's see, that's about it for me this time. If you have any questions, just go ahead and ask. Goodbye.